We're live. We're back. We're raw.
I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't say that we're raw, but I guess we kind of are raw, right?
Yeah, always a little bit raw. Always a little bit.
Well, yeah, and the whole reason we're raw is we've been doing this for like 80,000 years, and we have been saying the same thing over and over. And we just have to kind of break through the noise and get people's attention, especially marketers. They're a stubborn breed, man.
Especially now, and then as marketers are watching their web traffic just go into the toilet. I mean, what else is going to get you to wake up? Or you're going to ignore that too and think,
I don't know.
this is just not bad.
I don't know. Jeff, I never thought that we would still have a company in 2025. I thought we would have solved all the problems and, they would have, taken care of that. But thank God for evolution. And so we do want to talk about AI today. I mean, who doesn't want to talk about AI? Imagine our life 3 years ago. From a business perspective, from a personal perspective, everything with AI. And as fast as those 3 years change, the changes coming forward are going to be faster, right?
Dramatically. And I think it's a strap yourself in kind of moment because it is cray for sure.
It is.
But it's also really cool. I mean, but I think you have to be willing to roll with it. And I think what we're going to talk about today is, what's going on in this whole world of search, which, let's face it, even if you weren't a revenue marketer, your entire existence has been built around SEO, getting people to your website, content, downloading forms, etc., for 20 years.
Yeah.
And now it's not so much that SEO is dead, but how you do it, the way you're doing it. Yeah. I mean, everyone.
You got to have a completely new perspective on it, right?
Completely.
I remember.
I
was going to say, I remember 2 years ago on Black Friday, I started using ChatGPT to go find the best deals. And since that time, 2 years ago, I use ChatGPT to do all of my searches. Google just irritates the living hell out of me every time I try to go in and use it, right? And so if I'm searching and other people are using these LLMs for search, you would think we have a new way to think about search. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And what's it called, Jeff?
It's called AEO.
Yeah, AEO.
I mean, some people also say GEO. AEO, I mean, it could be answer engine optimization or AI engine optimization versus GEO, meaning generative engine optimization. But it really comes down to a couple of things. One, even before AI, search has been, voice-driven search has been really prominent over the last couple of years because people are talking to Siri or talking to Alexa, and that is really now driving a lot of search. And then over this last year and a half, now what's happening is either A, people are still going into Google and to do a search, but Google's own embedded AI is coming up at the top, and you're getting this longer, detailed answer with context. So even if you were ranking high on the page, you're now getting suppressed and pushed down. And if people get all their information from that top area, then they have no reason, right, to click through. And then second, like you, many people are going into ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Gemini to ask a question and look for something, and then they get their answer right there. So again, why even have to go to somebody's website when you can get the answer right in front of you?
That's right.
And we don't like to wait.
And it's a better, more organized answer, and then you can shape your answer, right?
Yeah, and I don't want to be cookied, and I don't want to get your emails, and I don't want to fill out your stupid fucking form, and I don't want to go through all these hoops just to get into your system, right, where you're going to treat me like a prospect. I want to get what I want when I want it, and if and when I'm ready to talk to you, I'll reach out, or I'll have some of my people talk to your people.
That's right. My people talk to your people. That's right.
But it ain't going to be today,
No.
And so I think people are trying to figure out, okay, we see this happening, but we don't know what to do exactly. Why isn't it, if my website was optimized for SEO and I'm using all the tools like SEMrush or Moz and all this, then why is my site tanking? And the answer is because what worked for search engine optimization isn't going to entirely work for AEO. Don't get me wrong, the tenets of search are still really important. I mean, you want to have good, clean sites, error-free, good sitemap, meta tags, H1, linking, backlinking, all that stuff is still really important. But because the way people are changing, the behavior of how they're looking for information, what you've optimized is only addressing a smaller part now. You're not actually addressing for the way people are searching, which is to ask a question. So if people are asking questions and you're not set up to answer the question in a way that these AI bots can address it, you're already missing out.
That's right.
Yeah. So, but there are some practical things that people can do. And the first thing is, interestingly enough, it really is rooted in the tenets of good search and good content. But thinking down, who are we? What is our brand identity? What unique things should we be talking about? Hint, it's not your product. So it's not, it's not
you
your
know what,
service.
Jeff? Bless their hearts. Too many companies still think it's about their product, but yeah, that's not it at all.
No, it's about the problems that your customers are trying to solve.
Yeah.
So what you're doing then is you're organizing. So for us, for example.
So let me ask you, before you go into that, are we going to share our own experiment, or are we keeping that on the down low for right now?
I think we can give people a little sneak peek about what we've been doing.
Okay.
Yeah, because look, everything that we've done for the last 20 years has been rooted in data-driven experimentation, which then leads to a proven process. Which
that's one thing that we have a great. We experiment all the time. We have no fear with experimenting, especially with all the changes in technology. If you're not experimenting, you're going to fall behind. So share our little project. Oh, sorry.
So before I get into the nitty gritty, so just to let you guys, I think all these years we've had decent traffic on our website, and those of you guys who can look this up on independent tools, you can go benchmark us. I don't know, we averaged 300 to 600 people a day that would come to our site. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 8,000 to 10,000 people per month would come to our site to look at our thought leadership, experience our content, and we always thought, okay, maybe that's the best we're ever going to get, which is good. So we've been working on our AEO, and from the time that we were ready, 1 month later, we have seen a 700% increase in traffic. So now, instead of getting 10,000 people per month to our site, we are getting 10,000 people per day.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
And it's going up like this, it's just huge.
And we already have proposals at SOWs from this quick AEO, right?
And just by applying a little bit of strategy and a little bit of elbow grease and thinking through. So, for all of you guys that listen to us, like between Deb and myself and company, we put out all kinds of shit over all these years. We put out indexes on white papers, and Deb and I have written books, and we do interviews and we have podcasts, and you guys have engaged with us, and we love you for it. Thank you. It's great. But even with all that, we have the same exact problem of our customers, which is continuing to stay relevant in a world that is getting bombarded by content, and yes, everyone's still having the same problems, but we're having the same problem too. How do we get in front of the people? How do we still show our customers we're out here, we're helping, we can help you when they're getting bombarded?
How do we be there and engage when they're looking for answers to their problem, right? That's it in a nutshell. And so our own AEO efforts over the last, it's been only like 3 to 4 weeks, Jeff, and we've already seen a huge increase in traffic. We've already added, to the pipeline from that. Did you want to share like how many pages we're in the process of creating for this strategy?
I'm not going to say exactly how many pages.
Okay, all right.
There's some parts I'm going to keep on the down low. Okay, but what I will say is we are doing it in topic clusters, which is a best practice. What's a topic cluster? So for example, for us, what is revenue marketing? That's a big one for us. We want to continue to be known. So if I take revenue marketing, what questions should we be asking? Or more importantly, what questions would our prospects and customers be asking relative to revenue marketing? And write it in a way, it's not about you or me or our books or our services. It's about the problems they're trying to solve. Like, how do I apply revenue marketing for healthcare? What are the 3 things I need to know about revenue marketing? How will revenue marketing help me have a better relationship with sales? How will revenue marketing help me generate more pipeline next quarter?
Right.
These are specific. Then, so part one is, what's the strategy around the topic cluster and what are the right questions to ask?
And so, like, is there an average number of topic clusters, or?
Well, each topic cluster should have at least 100 questions, because then you can go deep enough around a given topic area.
Okay.
So maybe we write 100 questions on Marketo, or 100 questions on HubSpot, or 100 questions on demand generation, things that people come to us for, that they're looking for help on. But the second part is sure, once you have the questions, could any of you guys go into ChatGPT or Claude and generate the questions? Yes. But it's not just generating the questions, it's generating the questions with intent, because those questions, as important as it is to get around what your customer is looking for, it also then has to connect with something that you're doing. So you're writing the page in such a way, it's not a sales commercial, but you're taking your unique insights, key anchor assets on your site, and then you're linking them to the question. So in our case, you and I want everyone to take the revenue marketing assessment. We want them to read the revenue marketing index, because we know that if people do that, those are people that are really engaged in revenue marketing, at least for this given topic cluster. And sure, if it was around HubSpot or Eloqua, I'd want them to go take the HubSpot assessment or go do an ROI calculator, whatever the thing is, you're strategically picking. And then when you sit down to write each page, the page follows a cadence and you're connecting these two together, right? So that's part one. So you have a strategy.
Okay. Yep. Strategy. Perfect. So we've got clusters and clusters that are important to that organization, and then 100 questions, right?
Yep. And
then answers that are a little more intent driven
and more specific, and it follows through like a logical explanation. So first comes so that in the header, it's your question that the person's looking for. Then comes the answer. Then below the answer, you're doing supporting bullet points. Then you might have a table or two or something that's a little bit more specific that takes that topic deeper. Then you'll have like a longer explanation. And then you're linking to those assets. And then you're always finishing up every page with an FAQ. It should have at least 3. 5 is a good number.
Okay.
Then not just the layout, but then inside your HTML, you want to set up a good.
That sounds like a lot of work, Jeff.
Well, it is.
Sounds like a lot of work.
But damn, does it not drive results, Deb? I mean,
I know.
Hey, if everything was easy, then nobody would, everybody
That's right.
would be doing it. We'd still be in the same boat,
Right.
But what I can say is once you set that up, you're going to start seeing instant results, because the LLMs and even traditional SEO is optimized to look for that structure, to look for the questions that it's answering. And we literally, the next day, we started seeing like a massive spikes just after we started adding pages. And so now for us, it's like candy. We're like, okay, yeah, everyone's asking, Jeff,
every day we're checking.
I'll write a page. Give me a page. I want to write a page. Like we're all like racing each other to get pages on the website.
Yeah.
So again, but the whole thing is, you also have to balance this. You can't put up crap, on your website. You still have to QA it. You have to go through it. You have to make sure it follows in the process. But when done right, this is how you win at AEO, and clients that really sit down and commit to this are going to see demonstrable results. Now, I can't say everyone's going to see the results that we saw, but I am 100% confident that they're going to see at least a 20% lift.
I don't know how you couldn't, because again, this shift to buyer behavior is significant and growing faster than probably anything else that our buyers are doing right now. And that's where they go to search to get information, right?
Honestly, it's the single best thing that you can do. It's going to deliver way more qualified traffic than your nurturing campaign, than your advertising campaign. I'm not saying turn off all the other stuff, but if you're like, geez, we don't even have the time because we're so busy doing all this other stuff, make time.
Right.
Make time.
So Jeff, why aren't more companies doing this?
I think it's a combination of a bunch of things, Deb. One, it's, they don't know how. Maybe they're ignorant of the problem. Maybe they're not paying attention to what's actually going on out there. Maybe they don't have an answer on how to approach it. Maybe they don't have the skill set to approach it. I mean, probably a little bit of everything.
Okay. We're going into budgeting season, right? We're already, right in the middle of it. And if you think about marketing organizations, what kind of priority would you put on an initiative like this moving into 2026? What would you recommend? How
I put this in the top
priority?
3. I put
Yeah.
this in the top 3. Definitely look, you got to continue to consolidate and rationalize your tech stack, which everyone's been doing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's up there. This continued mantra, doing more with less. But
Mm-hmm.
honestly, there are a few things you can do better because yes, you're going to have to spend some money on this effort, but compared to many other things, the return you're going to get, I mean, you spend maybe an average of about $100 a page if you do this the right way. And
Really? That's all? 100?
$100
I
a
mean,
page?
between copy and QA and getting it up, you think, 100 sounds a little light. That's what I was saying, but you think they could do it for about 100?
I do. Well, at least if they come to us, yeah. But I mean,
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Right.
even if you spend $1,000 a page,
Yeah.
and people might be like, wait a minute, you want us to write 100 pages at $1,000? That's $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but if that $100,000 generates $1 million worth of pipeline and deals for
Right.
you, wouldn't that be a better investment than dropping
Absolutely.
$100,000 at some bullshit trade show that you're going to be standing
Absolutely.
around handing out brochures?
Absolutely.
So I think,
So-
like everything else, it's really about. It's always been true in marketing. It's no more true than today. Where do you put your money that gets the best
Yeah.
ROI? The mix is different for everybody, of
Yeah.
course. But
yeah, that's the point. And that is a question everybody should be thinking about going into 2026. Especially if you have any kind of accountability for a number, where is your best ROI? Where is your best return? Where do you put that money, right? And I think we both agree AEO is one of those high return areas for organizations.
Massive return.
Yeah.
Massive return. And look,
Yeah.
it's like everything else. We know people aren't doing it. We see it.
Right.
They're not doing
Yeah.
it. That's why we're pushing to do it.
Yeah.
And if you just do this, imagine how far ahead you're going to be of your competitors. By the time they wake up and realize what happened, you're going to create such a big distance between them and you. They're not going to be able to catch up.
Oh yeah. What is the team in the marketing organization that would be responsible for an AEO initiative? Would it be the search team?
Well, Deb, it always depends on how the teams are organized, because a lot of our clients have a separate web SEO team than, let's say, demand gen or marketing ops. I think it's, though, a combination of those resources. Whoever is running your website, your CMS, and would normally be putting the pages up definitely needs to be involved. I think you definitely want a strategist or a product manager or campaign manager that really can map the problems of your market versus what you sell to kind of think through.
Oh yeah. If I was a product manager, I'd be all over this like white on rice, right? I mean,
yeah, and maybe somebody from marketing ops and those are, I think, would be like kind of like your core team.
Right. A lot of times when we have a big change like this, you'll have resistance from a team that's accustomed to doing it one way. And now there's this new way to think about and get the same effect from search. Are you seeing resistance to that? Are you seeing people like, holy cow, we got to get this. This is fantastic stuff.
We see resistance all the time, or a lot of times, I think it's almost more denial than it is resistance. People are like, oh, it's just a fad. This AI thing is going to go away. I mean, one of my favorite jokes to tell, but it's still based in reality, is 20% of the companies that we talk to can't even spell AI.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
But the reality behind that is, for all of you guys that that are deep into Jasper and Perplexity and Claude, using all the tools, there's a lot of people out there that haven't even signed up for a single account yet. They might have heard of ChatGPT, but they don't have an account. They've done nothing, literally nothing. And so, there's a lot of people out there that haven't even been out of the gate.
That's right.
And their companies are really going to be hurting if they're not already hurting.
And again, for me, and this is a thread through all of the conversations that we have, you need to have time for experimentation, right? You can't just always say it's live or die by a project. It's got to get done. It's got to be delivered. You've got to have time for experimentation, and you've got to give your time to your team to to see what's happening, right? And to bring those new ideas in. If the CMO is the only person that's bringing in new ideas based on how our world is changing, then, you've got the wrong team. So this is a great example of a huge impact, especially if you're a revenue marketer, a huge impact on pipeline. And of course, as marketers, the better impact we have on pipeline, the more credibility that we bring. And that's something that every marketer wants. And so it's just a brave new world of AEO. So give them one piece of advice, Jeff, to get started.
Stop the process. You start working on this today.
Okay.
Work on your first cluster today. Out of all the things that we have worked on over the years, I have not seen anything work this fast with this impact. And we've done a lot, Deb. We have. So
we've been at this since 2007.
Yeah.
And Jeff and I have been in this game since 2004. So yeah.
So yeah, seriously, stop what you're doing. If you don't have an AEO plan, get one like right now. This is the single best thing that you guys could be doing.
Totally 100% agree.
All right. We are out of time, but we're going to keep it going next week. So thanks everybody for tuning in.
Hey. And if you do start AEO, let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
We absolutely would.
It's Jeff or Debbie at pedowitzgroup.com.
You got it.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.